Today, a journey across the world to explore food ingredients that I don't think we've ever had on the channel before, and in many cases, we've never tasted before either.
This is going to be great.
I can't believe we've not had everything yet.
There is so much more of the world to discover. Lift the cloche on number 1.
I can see eyes.
Oh, they're mini
Mini prawns.
God, they're microscopic prawns.
Tiny
Look at their tiny
prawns.
Look at their silly little eyes. They look like they've been drawn on. They're like, hello.
These are much smaller shrimp, which means the whole thing can be consumed. So obviously different times of the year, you fish for different size shrimp, but when they are this small in this part of the world, the whole thing can be used and eaten, and you don't get that perhaps more full-on flavour of eating a whole shrimp otherwise.
And the texture, obviously, as well, because the lovely sort of bite, the al dente.
Have a taste.
Oh, that's not a
What are you tasting?
seawater.
Nothing but salt.
These are salted shrimp.
They are too salted.
From South Korea, literally 2 ingredients, very small shrimp and salt.
Getting very little fish from that.
Oh, you do at the end?
We've had very fishy things before that are salted, but they are mainly the odour of fish and the taste of fish, and you're left with salt. This is the other way around.
So there are only 2 ingredients, it's the small shrimp and salt, and in Korea, and these are from South Korea as a kind of a condiment, they're basically used in place of salt. So yes, they have the umami-ness of the shrimp as well, but they're used in place of salt. It's put into things like kimchi, into various pastes and dips, and can be used in a whole host of different ways.
What's the process? Because obviously they're diddy prawns. Are they just literally caned then in salt?
Shrimp are put into large barrels and then salt is piled on top, and they basically work their way down and mix and mingle and do the preserving. So it is a form of preservation. And in warmer weather, the Korean fishermen have to basically salt it either like immediately or sometimes even on the boats on the way back to shore, because they're so small, they deteriorate really quickly if you don't preserve them in salt.
How do you catch these? Because you're not using a normal sized net, are you?
A sieve. It's a sieve in the water.
Would you like to try a dish where they have been used?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
This is gyeranjim. It's basically steamed egg custard, but it's made egg that's been kind of sieved to get rid of absolutely any of the bits that all stick together and diluted with dashi, seasoned with the salted shrimp, and then it is steamed. So it's a really gentle, custardy light, fluffy cook. Sometimes they puff up and come back down, but if they're a really gentle steam, it's more like an egg custard. Savoury.
Whoa!
It's so smooth, it looks like a panna cotta.
It's a panna cotta.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's delicious. It is salty, but I'd say actually it's equally prawny.
Do you get some umami from it?
Yeah, definitely.
It feels like rather than using fish sauce and salt, or soy, you get both from that.
How many micro prawns went into this?
Only a teaspoon.
Just a teaspoon.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Just a teaspoon. And when you buy it in a jar like that, it lasts a long time.
Wow.
It can last up to a year. There's literally only 2 ingredients in it. Shrimp and salt.
Absolutely delicious.
Had you heard or seen them before?
Never.
No, never. Not. I think I might have seen them, but I had never thought they were a salty-based product.
The key is to get the eggs really, really well mixed or whisked. So often it's passed through a sieve. You know when you whisk it, you might still get bits that all stick together. You get it through a sieve, get rid of it all, whisk it, or sometimes even blend it with water to dilute it, but it's better if that water is something like dashi, and then it's seasoned to taste with this. You can also add mushrooms and soybeans or edamame beans. You can add all sorts of other things to it, but a classic version is just this and then sesame spring onion on top.
The flavour it imparts in that almost makes me think it's almost meant to be a flavouring as much as it is just a seasoning. Like, I'm left with the flavour of salt rather than just, it's not just balancing the dish.
But yeah, you've got to imagine it at a meal with lots of different other bancha, all providing different textures, different flavours, different spice levels, a lot of raw garlic and a lot of sort of South Korean food. What do we think?
Really interesting. Never tasted anything like it. I looked at these and went, these are going to be fishy.
Really fishy, yeah.
And they are not at all.
Sounds good to me. Would you like to try something new?
Yes, please.
we doing? We have the traitors. Team B, we have the faithfuls.
I'm holding a hot sauce!
It's so hard to eat. Just keep piling up high.
Oh my word.
We be the pirates of Ben's pants. Thank you so much for watching.
Number 2, it's ready for you.
You get it.
Oh.
You go. What the heck are those?
Hairy nuts.
Here they are.
A, what do they look like? And B, where do you think they've come from? Don't break your teeth on them, but you can eat them.
Yeah, they look like
Chalky.
they are chalky, aren't they?
Oh, very chalky. Okay. Why are they held together with string?
You say string, I'm saying fibre. The same kind of fibrous things you'd find on the outside of a coconut. What's it taste like? What flavours are you getting?
I'm getting almost mango-y. Almost like
Yeah, it's dried fruit.
it's dried fruit. It's mango powder. But why is
Oh,
it
wait,
hairy?
keep nibbling through and you get a Kinder Surprise.
The heck is...
Inside is a kidney-shaped stone. You don't want that bit, like a seed. But it is the dry, chalky bit on the outside that we're interested in.
Citrusy and fruity.
Citrusy and fruity. You've mentioned mango, so we're kind of in the tropical realm. Baobab. Heard of it?
No.
Baobab.
Baobab tree, and it is the baobab fruit. It grows, and inside one big hanging fruit, you have lots of seeds and all of this. It kind of dries on the tree, and the outside is often, as is crumbling on the table, ground into a powder, and that powder is then used in a number of different things.
So hang on. So you open up the fruit, and this is inside the fruit.
Yep, from a tree that is also sometimes called the mother of the forest or the upside down tree. Whilst we have got some of the fruit that we were able to give you, typically it's distributed as a powder, which you can try as well. And if you just try that on its own, it is almost sherbety, citrusy, tropical.
That's really good. That's really
great.
similar to something that made me go woo before.
Sorry, what?
Now, whilst we talk about the fascinating tree and fruit a bit more, we want to give you a Senegalese drink, which is just that fruit and milk.
Okay, brilliant.
The tree and the fruit itself, a lot of them growing in Africa, and that's where this drink is from, but also found in places like Madagascar. In fact, my understanding is that there's only a handful of different species of this tree left. Some of them are close to extinction, and 6 of those species you can find in Madagascar, but also found across East Africa.
Cheers.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, same. Oh,
Oh my goodness. What's in this? Milk.
Just milk and
milk.
that powder.
Why is it so sour?
yeah, I think that's nice.
No, it's not what I expected. I was expecting mango smoothie.
Yeah, no, definitely
I'm
not.
getting almost like, it's
not-
almost yogurty.
It's not
Yeah,
sweet, but remember you
Yeah.
said it was almost citrusy in flavour. It's giving that tang and that acidity to the milk. Baobab is said to have high nutritional quality. We're talking lots of antioxidants, vitamins, really high in fibre. It therefore works really nicely when added into drinks, sprinkled across yogurt and cereals, and it is highly nutritious, so much so that it's one of those ones that's kind of sold as a superfood powder.
It's like a drinkable yogurt.
It's really refreshing as well. The sourness makes it, almost takes away from the sweetness of the milk.
Now, Cougans in West London, they've got lots of sort of research on this tree because it is close to extinction, and that's because of the way it reproduces. So you've seen those really thick trunks, and right at the top, the branches go out horizontally. From the short, erect stalks, the flowers only open up to have a reproductive option and period for a very short amount of time. So that at dusk, the flowers open up really quickly, like you can literally, as the naked eye, can see them open up. They very quickly shed their pollen, and then they're sexually or reproductively inactive for a whole period on, and they rely on bats to come and grab the pollen in the very short amount of time that they are shedding it, and therefore it is why, as a species, as a tree, they're not everywhere. Because there's lots of communities in Africa where these trees are the meeting and gathering place for folk song and storytelling, and they would sit underneath these huge trees And yet it is a wonderful part of nature that produces an amazingly unique fruit that's full of the superfood or very high in antioxidants and deliciousness.
They're great.
Imagine that in ice cream.
Yes. Yes, really tasty.
Yeah, I love it.
And you mentioned ice cream, it works really lovely with dairy. It also bakes into things like cookies and brownies and cakes really nicely too.
Wow, did not expect that.
On that note, should we move on to number 3? This one's fun. It's an ingredient I knew about but had forgotten about. I haven't used it or seen it for ages. Lift the cloche.
Noses?
Noses.
I recognise that.
So do I.
It is
Grapey.
appley.
Very gentle sip. It's not a shotter.
Is it alcoholic?
No.
Have a sip, it's lovely. It's
Vinegar.
It's
Oh,
not
no, it's
vinegar.
not.
It's not vinegar. It's vinegary in terms of it's a little bit.
It's really sharp.
It's super appley. It's super. You know when you get a really, really sour apple?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just it's the sour of the apple just taken out.
It's sour apple juice.
The really, really sour apple juice from Barry. Mike, stick to your guns. What did you say at the start?
That's a grape.
It's
Grape.
verjus. And verjus is the juice of unripe grapes.
Verjus.
Oh.
So if you think about the growing season of grapes, they grow, they're really, really acidic and sharp
Right at
and
the beginning,
tannic,
yeah.
and as the sun begins to ripen them and they flesh out and they become lovely and plump and ripe, those acids turn to sugar, and that's the sugar that's then turned into alcohol and things like wine.
It's almost like it's gooseberry style. It's a
Yeah.
gooseberry
It is
juice.
that very sour, tart, drying, acidic flavour. Verjus, the name, literally means green juice. So it is the juice of the green grapes before they've had time to ripen. What do you think it's for?
It's almost like a cordial for me. You could put that in a fizzy drink, it'd be quite nice.
Some people add it to sparkling sodas, maybe
Yeah.
offset with some sugar, like a soda as opposed to just a sparkling water.
Would you use it in place of things like apple cider vinegars and adding that acidity to dishes?
So it's often used to deglaze pans to give you that acidity, but also that fruitiness. All the way through the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, in places like France, really big, but also found across the Middle East. Would you like to try a dish with it?
A
Yeah.
dish. Yes.
A beautiful salad. What we've done is hydrate dried grapes, sultanas, raisins, in
wow.
verjus. You've got lots of wonderful cucumbers, seasonal tomatoes, some very finely sliced shallots, and then a dressing made from good olive oil, a little bit of verjus, and tossed together with rocket and some pistachios.
Yeah, great.
Holy crap. That works so well with sweet
Yeah.
things.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, depending on the type of grape, there's lots of different types of verjus. Some of them are also then infused with things like sorrel or lemon or other herbs that are also in and around the same area.
It makes what is already a wet salad so juicy.
Yeah.
And interestingly, this as a product has been around since the Middle Ages in places like France, but has kind of come back into popularity in the last, not even that recently, the last decade or two, after some failed grape crops. When they never really ripened, and were like, well, what can we do with them? Let's crush them. And it turned out it was the verjus that, had been made hundreds of years before. It kind of came back into fashion and as an option for absolutely delicious dressings on salads.
That's getting in my store cupboard.
Yeah. Because I can just use that in place of apple cider vinegar and bits like that sometimes.
When I want to add apple cider vinegar, but I don't want it to taste like apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
And based on the types of grape, you can also get red versions that have got a nice either red or pink hue to them because of the use of
It's so
red grapes.
refreshing.
We are necking a salad.
I know.
This has never happened
it's
before.
weird.
And one of the things bearing in mind is it means it hasn't been through fermentation or distillation as other vinegars might have been, so universally used in cooking, even amongst communities who don't want alcohol.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. To the
Verjus.
salad. To the verjus. Amazing.
Use it in marinades in place of, vinegars and stuff to have that kind of starting to break down meats. You can use it to deglaze pans that you've just seared stuff off or got some roasted onions and stuff. You can deglaze with that.
Emma, you are on a cracking roll.
Well, I've got one more for you. Would you like it?
Are we ending on the best one?
We're ending on another one.
Your turn?
Emma's has told us this is the best one, and we've had 3 really good ones. So.
No,
Yeah.
it's a different one.
Come on.
Is it a
Smell that.
dehydrated?
Just shut up and smell it.
It smells like someone. It smells like a smoker's car.
Yeah, it smells slightly stale.
Oh no, they're mushrooms, aren't they? Look, because there's the head. Yeah, because look. There's
Yeah,
the
you know what?
stalk
Yeah,
and
they are fungi.
Yeah,
I don't want to. What are you doing? I don't want to eat it.
when you rehydrate it.
Don't turn into a mushroom.
Boys, the Latin name for this is Phallus induciatus.
Oh, good.
A more common name, basket stinkhorn, or perhaps known as bamboo fungus, because as a fungus, they grow around and sometimes even on bamboo.
Oh, right.
The world of mushrooms and fungi is just magical. Basically, they start off egg-shaped, and that egg begins to mature and expand, and eventually, under pressure, the peridium tears, the fruit body erupts, grows a bell-shaped cap, and in particularly well-developed specimens, the netting that erupts from the bell-shaped cap can reach the vulva.
What have you just read?
It is a bamboo fungus. It's grown in East Asia in really humid forests that, they need temperatures of 24, 25 degrees Celsius as an average. They're described to have a sweet and almost flat flavour, which is an interesting description for flavour, but quite flat in their flavour, quite sweet. They obviously hydrate wonderfully and are used in a lot of broths and stews. Would you like to try it in a dish?
Yes, a bowl of phallus, please.
Lift the lid.
Ooh.
This is stewed chicken with bamboo fungus and goji berries.
Goji berries, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
So a relatively simple dish to make, but at the same time, a delicate balance of getting everything right. So lots of aromats cooked off in oil with some chicken. So think ginger, garlic, spring onion, then in with water, in with our mushrooms to hydrate and add lots of flavour. We've got some shiitake mushrooms in there as well, and goji berries, which we buy dried and also rehydrate.
Wow. Oh, that broth is amazing. Texture.
How do you make things taste like this?
The texture of that lace.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It's like a thick vegetal crunch, but it's really light. So it tastes like it's netted, it's a really satisfying texture.
Super unique, as you might imagine, also considered to have medicinal properties in a lot of Chinese medicine. Originally, they had to be hand-picked and wild foraged, which is why they were incredibly expensive. Less so now that we understand a bit better how to cultivate them. The question is, with something like this, can you see yourselves as normal home cooks incorporating it, or is this just something wonderful to admire from somewhere else in the world that doesn't suit your style of cooking?
I think it's absolutely delicious, and if I lived in that part of the world that it was local to me, I would enjoy it in a lot of my food. I wouldn't fly it across the world for me to enjoy.
And obviously bamboo fungus, so you're going to find it anywhere that has the same kind of temperatures and humidity that bamboo loves, in particular places like China, but also a lot of Southeast Asia. Well, 4 brand new global ingredients to us. Comment down below, were any of those new to you? Have you used any of them? And if there are more things that we absolutely should be incorporating into these videos, write them down below.